Okay, here we go.
Microphone's on. No, it's on. Oh.
Perfect.
Oh, I don't even. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Finance and Audit Committee meeting for the California High-Speed Rail Authority's Board of Directors. Welcome. We're going to go through our agenda this morning, which will be followed at 9:30 for those of you who are able to also join us for the board meeting. So we'll call the meeting to order, and I'm not going to ask you to acknowledge, just if you would acknowledge that all three members of the committee are here, Ernie being on Zoom at his office in Southern California. We'll start today's agenda with the consider the approval of the March 4th Finance and Audit Committee meeting minutes.
Volume up. Is he
Do
just
we have a
speaking
motion?
away from Mike?
Yes, I move.
Second? I'll second it. And all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Item number 2 is the audit report by our Chief Auditor, Paula Rivera. Good morning and welcome, Paula.
Tom's just not speaking into the mic. And then the camera will figure out after this meeting.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Paula Rivera, Chief Auditor for the Authority, and today I'd like to brief you on an audit we performed.
Let me just, Paula, just 1 second. So, yeah, if you've got a microphone there too also, if you just,
It's on.
I don't know if people are being able to hear you or
Oh,
not.
the light's green. Does it not work? Okay. I'd like to brief you this morning on an audit that we did of the civil works certification process. We performed an audit to determine whether the civil works certification oversight practices and procedures were documented, followed, and supported. We had an additional audit objective to determine whether the quality milestone data packs, or QMDPs, submitted by the design build contractor complied with the contract requirements. This testing was limited to observing the review comment logs provided by the PCM team. We did not look at the substance of the QMDP submittals. We just looked to see if there were comments by the authority staff. The scope of our audit was limited to reviewing processes just for CP4 between November 2021 and July 2024. Our audit found that practices and procedures within the system certification management oversight generally complied with the written procedures reviewed. In addition, the authority continues to work towards the goal of obtaining the final revenue service certification from the FRA to deliver a system into revenue service. Our audit also recognizes the ongoing process improvement efforts implemented by individuals within the delivery functions and the PCM team. However, we found that technical contract requirements in the existing design build contracts are not mapped to the system requirements relevant to the final revenue service certification. The audit also found that the delivery functions lacked communication and collaboration within its offices and branches and had deficiencies in its policies, procedures, and oversight practices. Lastly, we observed that the Rail Operations Office does not have a staff contingency plan that addresses the risk of inconsistencies in the work performed by key process owners. I would like to thank Brian Maroney, who was the chief engineer at the time. He was very generous with his time, and our auditors, so that they would have a full understanding of the process and the elements within the process. And Sean Nevin, he was with PCM on CP4, and he was also very helpful in helping our auditors understand the process and be familiar with what they were looking at. So the first issue we identified was there's a draft certification management policy that talks about the life cycle of the certification. Our design build contracts initially had a number of requirements in them. Some of them were overlapping, some of them were European, some of them were Japanese, and there wasn't a continuous improvement process throughout the life of those contracts to pare those down to the relevant requirements based on the United States and what FRA was requiring. In May 2023, Brian Maroney, the chief engineer at the time, implemented efforts to streamline the technical contract requirements by refining them down just to the critical requirements. However, our audit found that there's not a holistic continuous improvement process implemented by the delivery functions related to the system certification. We recommend the Chief of Rail Operations, the Chief of Planning and Engineering, and the Chief of Construction collaborate to oversee implementation of continuous improvement process to refine the technical contract requirements respective to their disciplines in efforts to achieve documentation relevant to the revenue service certification. Our second issue identified that according to this draft certification management policy, the participation of all authority staff within the delivery functions was required to achieve the goal. But the audit found that there's a lack of communication and collaboration amongst the delivery function working within the certification management policy. For example, an authority handover management plan was developed by rail operations in May 2020. Intended for the construction office that describes the handover process at the end of the construction package. However, the management plan had not been reviewed nor approved by the construction office. There's also a lack of understanding of the roles and responsibilities related to roles within the authority regarding the early opening of different types of structures and final acceptance of a structure by the certification committee. And this is related to when it can be open for traffic versus when all the documentation is submitted and the management committee signs off on it. There was a lack of ongoing communication between the rail operations office and the construction office during construction quality audit processes that are internal to the rail operations office. And as a result, the auditors were working with someone who was a consultant as the lead on CP4, and not anyone from the authority, but the authority was being asked to provide corrective action to an audit that they hadn't participated in. In addition, there was a lack of understanding of changes to the system of certification documentation. The chief engineer issued a memorandum in May of 2023 regarding the responsibility and ownership. However, that memorandum was not maintained in a place that it was accessible to all employees. So anyone who joined that office after May of 2023 didn't understand the division of responsibility. We recommend the chief of staff ensure delivery functions have a clear understanding of their roles and responsibilities as it relates to the certification process. Our third issue is related to policies and procedures. The policies and procedures lacked authority approval. There is a draft system certification management plan. And according to that, the Rail Operations Office is responsible for developing and implementing a number of plans, policies, procedures, and our audit found 13 of these requirements in the envelope of the System Certification Management Plan had not been through the authority policies and procedure approval process, which means they were not reviewed by the authority's legal office or other relevant authority functions. And additionally, when one of these documents is passed through the authority approval process, it's posted on the internet so that everyone can view. If it's not gone through that process, then it's not available for anybody who might need the documentation. In addition, our audit identified that this draft management plan is outdated, and there are at least 3 documents that were not reflected in the plan. The certification committee's roles and responsibilities are documented within the draft system certification management plan, but they lack clarity and information related to the acceptance and recommendation process of the committee. We recommend that the delivery functions route all policy and procedure documents applicable to the certification management program for approval per the authority policies and procedures related to authority documentation. Our 4th issue was we identified deficiencies in oversight practices. The oversight practices were not documented, and then we also identified some unsupported oversight practices. We recommend the delivery functions implement an internal control framework to consistently assess and implement improvements to strengthen the internal control systems by aligning the current practices and written procedures. We also had one observation, a lack of an employee contingency plan. During our audit, the quality audit person within the rail operations branch changed at least 3 times, possibly 4 times. So with that level of change, it's important that there's a plan for what happens when we have new employees join the program, and how employees, when they roll off the program, they share the knowledge that they've and the efforts that they've put into place that may not be documented yet. Are there any questions?
Any questions for Ms. Rivera?
I noticed that management had a response,
Yes.
and it looks as though they're going to be meeting with you quarterly to implement your recommendations.
Yes.
Okay.
Our audit was started a number of years ago, which, so there's been a lot of change in the authority over the last 1.5 or 2 years. So the processes that we looked at are no longer in place. So the authority is going to take the recommendations and use them for the certification process that's in place now and going forward.
When you say there's nothing in place, that's because it's no longer relevant, or it's been, I don't know, suspended?
Sorry, it's not in place as it was. The rail office is different. The people who were office chiefs in the rail office are different. That's been combined with planning and engineering. So the process as it was is not in place. And so the authority's revising that to match the current structure. And that's what they're going to incorporate our recommendations into the new process.
Okay. So you'll come back to us quarterly, or do we even need that?
I think we may not need it, Paula, but if there's anything that's untoward at any of your quarterly updates, then we would ask that you come back and notify this committee.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Paula.
Just one other thing. I don't recall that we'd had an audit on this area before. Is that true?
Correct.
We have not.
Correct. This was a
Okay.
request.
Okay. Where have you been?
This was a request
Okay.
a number of years ago.
Okay. You requested it of us and we weren't responsive?
No, Bruce requested it of us,
Oh, okay.
and we had some stops and starts. We had some people, Frank Vaca was here and then left, and so
Okay.
the authority's gone through a number of changes since the initial request.
I just don't remember an audit in recent times that have had this many concerns. So I'm glad that you got to it. And if we don't hear from you the next time you happen to be here on another matter, if you would make sure that you put that this update on on your agenda for whatever you might be addressing us with.
I will.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tom,
Yes.
Tom, when you're,
Yes, Ernie, go ahead.
yeah, if you could speak closer to the mic, because I can hear everyone else except you.
Oh,
Was it me that you're talking about? I'm sorry.
It was probably you talking about me.
I can't hear you, Ernie.
That's what I thought.
Okay, we'll do it.
Thank you.
And the next item, ladies and gentlemen, is item number 3, our financial update from our Chief Financial Officer. Jamie, good morning.
Good morning, Chairman Richards, Vice Chair Miller, Director Camacho, and CEO Chowdhury. My name is Jamie Metalka. I'm the Chief Financial Officer. Today, I'll be giving a summary of the April 2026 financial reports with data through February 2026 and a key look ahead for data points for March 2026. Okay, starting on slide 2, we continue our timely payment of invoices with no late payments to report for the period. Our dispute summary shows a slight uptick of 4.5% for the reporting period. On our cash side, at the bottom half of the slide, reflects our total cash position of approximately $3.8 billion, comprised of $123 million of Proposition 1A bond funds, $3.6 billion in greenhouse gas reduction funds, and $14 million in our property management fund. Our cash balance does reflect the recent processing of the November 2025 auction, but does not yet include the February 2026 auction proceeds, which is projected to increase our cash balance by $230 million as soon as the state process that executive order. Okay, slide 3, please. Slide 3 highlights our administrative budget and expenditures report. There are no changes to the budget authority to report for the month, and expenditures are consistent with prior periods. As for our positions, we are at 389 filled of the 514 authorized positions for the reporting period. This is an increase of 11 filled positions compared to the same period last year, and overall vacancy rate is at 24%. Slide 4, please. Slide 4 highlights our capital outlay and expenditures report, reflecting no change to the budget and expenditures in line with prior periods. At the bottom of the slide, we provide a breakout table of additional details on budget and expenditures by line item category. This budget's current highest use is supporting the construction work in the Valley, where we saw advancement on 6 structures in CP1 and 21 structures in CP23 for the reporting period. Slide 5, please. On slide 5, the total projects and expenditure report summary. We've made a few updates to highlight for you. 1, we are now including the Rail Property Management Fund balance and expenditures to date in the summary. And 2, we've added a new state grant that was recently awarded to the authority, and I'll cover a bit more of that on the next slide. Cumulative expenditures to date are at $15.7 billion, and approximately 84% of that has been funded by the state. Overall, the state is funding 93% of this project. Slide 6, please. Slide 6 provides a status of the federal funds and state match liability for various grants. A slight
Jamie?
change we made here for clarity is to bifurcate the active drawdown grants at the top from the completed drawdown grants at the bottom. As just highlighted in February, the authority received notice of a conditional award for fiscal year 26, the Energy Infrastructure Incentives for Zero Emission State Grant, which awarded the authority $507,000 to our project. This grant will provide funding for and support for EV charging and hydrogen fueling infrastructure at the Fresno station location. Also in February, we applied for 1 federal grant the fiscal year 2026 Better Utilizing Investments to Leverage Development, known as BUILD, grant program for $4.2 million. This grant seeks to obtain federal funding to design the Fairmead Safe and Resilient Streets Project, a series of local improvements spanning nearly 8 miles that will mitigate transportation barriers and other harm to improve access, safety, connectivity, and infrastructure resilience in the community of Fairmead. Pause here if there's any questions. No, we'll go to slide 7.
Yeah, hold on a second. Jamie?
Yes, yes, Director
Go back
Camacho.
to see slide number 5. What percentage has the state provided in funds to us that we've expended?
83.5%. It's at
And
the top pie chart, yeah.
so then the feds have provided the balance, correct?
Yes,
Okay, that was my question. Okay, thank you.
yes, thank you. Good question. Slide 7. Yep, okay. Slide 7 provides a summary of our contract and expenditures report, which shows we have a total of 201 active contracts with a value of $13.1 billion. The remaining contract commitments total just over $2.6 billion. The top 2 remaining contract commitments are for our DB contractors in CP1 and CP23. At the bottom half of the slide, we provide an update on progress against the KPIs for our small business program. The authority continues to meet and exceed the pre-November 2023 goals for disabled veteran business enterprises, and we registered a 1.4% growth year over year in the overall small business utilization metric from 23.7% to 25.1%. For our post-November 2023 goals, we are meeting and exceeding the goals for the small business and disabled veteran business enterprises for both blended and state-funded contracts. And finally, small businesses actively working on this project increased to 988, an increase of 10 since last reported. Next slide, please. Slide 8 provides a summary of our contingency usage, which reflects 7 executed items during the reporting period for approximately $10.5 million. And no change orders or HSR governance actions over $25 million to report for the February reporting period. The uses of a contingency include, in CP1, 4 change orders totaling $3 million, and that breaks out as $1.2 million was for a railroad-related requirement compensating the contractor for hazardous material cleanup from homeless encampments, additional patrolling, security, and cleanup costs around the UPRR right-of-way adjacent to our alignment. $157,000 was to compensate the contractor for authority-directed additional design services associated with a change to add an access road near the Fresno Trench. And 2 smaller values, one at $87,000 and one at $75,000, again, to compensate the contractor for additional work regarding design services. The final item to report is a $16 million amendment to the UPRR Coordination Agreement and Services Agreement for additional railroad required services across the construction packages where we needed to use contingency funds to augment the railroad coordination account that only had $7 million remaining to cover this increased budget need. The split of funding for this item drew $5.9 million from CP1's project reserve, $1.4 million from CP23's project reserve, and $1.7 million from CP4's project reserve. The services we are funding include inspection, construction oversight, design review, track and signal construction, flagging, and other railroad reimbursed safety requirements. Okay. Any questions on this slide covering the contingency usage? Okay. Final slide, please. Next slide. Our look-ahead slide typically report preliminary numbers for the next reporting period in 3 areas: capital outlay expenditures, positions vacancies, and federal grants. However, today I have a new slide at the end to share that will make its way into the core presentation going forward. So going down the list, for capital expenditures, we see a slight increase and are expecting to close the period at $123 million. As for positions, 3 hires were completed in the March period, bringing our total fill positions to 392, decreasing our vacancy rate to just under 23%. an improvement of 1.5%. However, in March, the state completed its statewide position elimination effort, which resulted in the authority losing 6 positions. The removal of these positions will be reflected in the next reporting period and will reduce our vacancy rate further. As for grants, there is no activity report that we haven't already reported. And our new slide. Next slide, please. Next slide is to provide a tracking of activity against a number of the efficiency efforts to deliver this program more efficiently and effectively. So we are now going to provide an update on utilization of the MATOC, the AE, IDIQ, and procurement of commodities. We're happy to report that in January, the authority was successful in its procurement efforts to obtain a rail manufacturer and awarded a contract to AK Railroad Materials. This contract will support our efforts to lay track this year and support the overall commitment to lay track on the 119-mile Central Valley segment. This ends my presentation for today. Happy to answer any questions. One last thing. This is actually on the website as well. We included the links so that the report could link back to the website where a lot of the data is provided, and also the procurement schedule for interested parties in the industry.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Metalka?
None.
Jamie, thank you very much. Item number 4 on our agenda is our Central Valley update, and our Chief of Construction, Mr. Finn. Good morning and welcome, Ed.
Good morning, Chair Richards, Vice Chair Miller, and Director Camacho. Ed Fenn here, Chief of Construction, to provide our Central Valley status update for this month. If you could go to the next slide, please. For this month, our expenditures are $51.5 million between CP1 and CP23. Change orders, as Jamie had mentioned, minimal for this month. Our budget contingency remains at 16.6%. For construction labor, we've seen an uptick in labor in the Central Valley, specifically on CP23. For construction package progress, we have 58 structures complete, 30 underway, and 4 that are not started, 4 being in CP1. But at this point, we actually have road closures to start those 4 structures. So guideway completion, this is embankment completion. We're at 68% for the combined packages. 27 is currently being worked on and 11 not started. Go to next slide, please. For utility relocations, we're at 93%. That's at 1699. At this point, we have 59 that are in progress. We still have 68 that are not started, primarily ancillary utility relocations. For right-of-way, that's at 99.8%. As I think we've discussed before, all right-of-way at this point is not impacting guideway construction, so that's good news for the team finally. Same with railroad. All the railroad right-of-way that we need to construct our project is in place. There's ancillary right-of-way that's necessary at the completion of access road work. Railhead, I think we all saw in October 2025. It was complete. Right now we're working on the facility development. Perimeter fence in place, access and egress, and we're preparing for our TSCC contractor to come on board, which will include, getting utilities in place and a permanent setup for both the track and systems contractor as well as the authority staff at the railhead for construction later this year. Next slide, please. Here's just our graph that we use to show design build expenditures. As we had mentioned, 51.5 for this month. Next month is a relatively significant uptick as we get into the summer construction. Note that these numbers lag 1 month, and the winter is a slower time for us. So we're seeing the uptick that we expected to see coming into the summer months. Next slide.
How many months are they lagging? Sorry, on that last slide.
Just one.
Just one,
It's a
okay.
process of getting the pay app together and then Yeah.
Thank you.
You got it. Construction labor, as we spoke again, is we're seeing this, and primarily you see the bump in CP23 as they work towards completion of 2026. Next slide, please. Here are our pie charts. Here's our structures in a pie chart format. We are actually looking to, in future board meetings, to provide a different graphic to give more detail on structures versus just total count as we get towards the end of the construction of CP 2, 3, and 1. In essence, 58 structures complete. We have a lot of construction structures in progress right now, specifically 2, 3, and also 1. And like I said, the 4 remaining in CP1, by the next time we report those, they will also have been started. So we'll have started all the structures on the project by the next month. Next slide, please. Again, just different way to represent our guideway here. And this is embankment fill. We have 81%, 81 out of total, 119 for 68%. Actually in CP23 complete guideway ready, we're at 17 miles within CP23. So this is continuing to progress, and we'll see these increases as we get further into the summer months. Next slide, please. Here's our utility relocations at the bottom by package. Again, obviously a lot of relocations in place now of 1692. Primarily the critical utility relocations for guideway construction are completed, continuing to progress utilities as work progresses in the CPs. And if you can go to the next slide. Here's our real property. As we mentioned, 99.8% complete, all guideway in place. You can see at the bottom the parcels to be delivered, and just a handful on CP1 and CP23, which are ancillary to the construction. And next slide. And this, a lot of information here. This is our time logic diagram for the project, and this integrates our CP construction as well as overlaying the track and systems work here. What you see at the top is you can see the segments, the CP1 top left, the center being CP23, and then CP4. So that's our 119 miles of initial track and systems installation. On a vertical perspective, you see time, again, 2025, and then moving down. So the further down you get on this graphic is further into the future. So this shows mapping out our program schedule for the installation of both track and systems for an overall plan for the project. This will, be fine-tuned as we get TSCC on board, but this is in essence the roadmap that we're directing them to schedule their work for. And again, this shows the ultimate goal of the systems installation by Q3 of 2029.
I'm going to just tell them, Ed,
Yes, sir.
Ed, could you speak up a little louder or raise your mic?
Yeah, apologies for that. Good.
Oh, thank you. That's much better.
I got to wear shorter shoes, no heels. Sorry, Director Camacho, I was actually done with this slide. If you have any specific questions, I can certainly address.
No, that's fine.
Yeah. Okay, next slide. And this is just the railhead overview. Again, good story for the authority completing this in October, finalizing punch list and outstanding civil works. The area is secured at this point, and we're, again, working on developing kind of a camp there for the TSCC and the authority for Q3 of 2026. And that concludes the presentation. Any questions?
Excuse me. Any questions for Mr. Finn?
Thank you. I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Yeah, just one quick question, Ed. On the railhead and the security. So we may not want to talk about it much about security, just so we're certain that it's there when we've got materials that are being delivered.
Yes, absolutely. We're working in concert with the team to develop that plan, and we certainly recognize we need security in place at that point.
Okay, thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Ladies and gentlemen, that completes the agenda for today's Finance and Audit Committee meeting. I'll ask the members if they have any comments before we close.
I have
Ernie?
none. I
Okay.
have none.
Nancy?
No.
Okay. Then thank you for joining us. At 9:30, we'll have the board meeting in this same location. Thank you. Meeting adjourned.